Greetings and welcome back. As you can see, I'm still here. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to get out of here, but hopefully we'll get to that later. Right now, we're going to look at a South State icon, Ernest.
And I say South State since I believe it wasn't even released outside of America and probably not even outside of the southern states. Another fun trivia, it was the last Ernest movie to be shown in the theater.
The last? Wait a minute, we didn't even get it first. I had to search the internet for a really lousy phone recorder video from a TV just to see this. And you're telling me that America got both theatrical and VHS releases? Wow. Anyway, let's take a look at what most Americans would probably call the worst Ernest movie. Or so did one guy on MySpace tell me, so it has to be true. This is Ernest Scared Stupid.
The opening credits features a lot of classic old horror movies as well as few lesser known ones. And Ernest the Doof is reacting to them.
So is this like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo where they just love old horror movies? Or is he just making fun of them for not being that scary? I do wonder.
Anyway, we also see that this movie was created by John Cherry and Coke Sam's.
So basically a Cherry Coke. Well, isn't that fantastic? I was going to hold up a Cherry Coke, patting it on the back for a job well done, but guess what? Cherry Coke isn't sold in my country. Fuck. Then again, I don't very much like the taste of Cherry Coke, so it's not that big of a deal really.
Anyway, after the credits are done, we get the first overly used cliché, which is...
long ago.
Points for no originality.
It seems we're back in good old times where men were men and women were women.
So basically the 90s. Oh no. Even longer.
Apparently it is the time of colonization and witch hunt where young girls is being chased around the woods by a man with a camera.
You hear that, Blair Witch? Ernest beat you to it. Which is sad.
No.
Anyway, the girl smiles at the camera, so maybe it is Tim Curry dressed up as a clown, or maybe, you know, bad acting directions.
To be fair, they didn't need to direct Jim Varney that much. I mean, let's be honest, the man is a living facial expression, so cut them some slack on the other actors. They basically didn't need to do anything, either out of respect for the actors, or fear of Jim Varney swallowing them whole. I'm not sure.
They manages to capture the guy behind the camera. Apparently he's a monster that needs to be buried alive by none other than Jim Varney himself.
And this oak tree will seal his fate. Its roots will be his prison.
Or it is probably Ernest's ancestor. Man, what a cop-out! Using the same actor for two roles? Granted, that is rather common to do, but it is Ernest we're talking about, so they get slapped extra hard for that.
We then cut to the present time, finally, where Ernest P. Worrell is now a garbage truck driver.
Yeah, when they hired me as sanitary engineer.
Gee, Ernest have had more jobs than the Three Stooges by this point.
Why, you
They had no idea that I was actually Ernest P. Worrell, man of destiny, ruler of refuse.
Seriously, who are they trying to rip off? Francis Gaston Lagaffe? If you don't know the comic, do look it up, it is indeed amazing.
And as the good old redneck hillbilly that Ernest now is, let's just say him and machines, they shouldn't really mix.
Oops! Yeah, the end, that was it. Some legend of a creepy old man with a camera, and Casey Jones squishing Ernest in a garbage truck.
You've made squishy with the swarm.
But of course that isn't the end. Ernest does something dumb and we see that they forgot to edit out the guy pushing Ernest out of the truck. Hey, probably unpaid intern.
Without you guys, most movies and video games, it appears, wouldn't have ever been made. Because loot boxes, microtransactions, and limited time offers clearly isn't enough. They also need interns that isn't paid too.
Anyway, Ernest is then told by the sheriff as well as the mayor to clean up the old Hagmore Manor, which of course is creepy and or scary.
Told you to get out to the Hagmore place. You too.
Or is this the place where the garbage pail kids now reside after their shady, no pun intended, movie flunked?
Well, to be more precise, it reminds me more of those Americans who take arts class and apparently thinks that junk statues are all the rage. I've seen them in real life, people. And despite their garbage art, they still get an A. Figure that one out. Not to dwell on this more, but honestly, tell me if you couldn't see Spencer after iCarly got cancelled living like this. But it is in fact not Spencer who lives here, but instead an old, very recognizable character.
My property!
Christopher Lloyd? Oh, no, sorry, that's Eartha Kitt dressed up as Doc Brown. Seriously, out of fear, no pun intended. I just don't dare.
Apparently, this is old lady Hagmore who, I don't know, she used to play Catwoman and was even Isma in The Emperor's New Groove.
So going from those to this. Ouch.
Pretty scary scream, huh?
My heart was in my throat.
First of all, lousy segue. Second, who practices scary screams in the middle of the day? Or at all for that matter.
Well, it appears that the kids made a lousy haunted house, and some bullies, apparently every kids film from the 80s and 90s needed those, and smashes the cheaply built place.
Okay, I probably shouldn't say lousy haunted house. I mean, it is quite adorable that the kids tries their own haunted Halloween tradition, and it kind of reminds me of the Haunted Pumpkin of Sleepy Hollow. You know, that one movie with the cheesy early 2000s song that I just love. Yeah, what can I say? One of the first Halloween specials there in my country.
Anyway, Kenny the kid, who probably grows up to be a Dan Aykroyd lookalike, asks Ernest for help.
Is the high ground.
The high ground is no good without trees.
Ravens, Romans.
Excuse me, what is this? Is this supposed to be funny? Is it edgy? Or is it so weird it's actually brilliant?
I ain't never had a job.
We need dress shield.
No, honestly, I think that somebody thought that multiple personality Ernest was hilarious. Or are they actually supposed to be there? I mean, the camera angles are slightly different, so maybe it's Ernest's family? I don't know.
Well, apparently it is to entertain kids that Ernest does this rather weird trick. I mean, look at Kenny, he seems entertained.
But then again, a ball string could probably pull that off too.
So Ernest suggests that they build a clubhouse in a tree.
One moment, please. They lost the haunted house they built. And now they go for a traditional, by Ernest standards, clubhouse in a tree. Consistency is tough, isn't it?
Anyway, they built the damn thing loaded up with what can only be described as knock-off Home Alone equipment, presumably for use later. Which is now! The bullies come in and they throw stuff at them, including moldy pizza.
Ew, pizza mess!
You can say what you want, but 2012 Michelangelo, he would have eaten that. It's cowabunga, you dimwit! Anyway.
We move on, and Doc Eartha Brown Kid enters the scene.
Because they built this house in the middle of a backyard, which a few moments ago Ernest was scared of. As I said, consistency is tough, isn't it?
So Ernest have a talk with the old hag. A Hagmore lady. And like cliched bad horror movies flick goes, she tells the only person who apparently can resurrect the monster how to damn resurrect it.
Places his hand on a tree, like this, and says,
Yea, I call thee forth, Trantor.
Stroke of genius! Honestly, when I first saw Eartha Kitt in the door right after the burial scene, I thought, sweet, Ernest gets to travel back in time in a DeLorean, no less. But no, they went with their traditionally bad route.
Oh, this is heavy.
Well, Ernest of course resurrects the monster and then leaves the kids to their fate.
Well, honestly, it is a horrible fate to be turned into wood, since, well, unforgiving and often him very creepy.
Never mind Norwegian horror games, we see that the troll needs a certain amount of wooden dolls to free his minions or brethren, whatever it is. So after the troll assaults Ernest, he runs to the sheriff's house, where we can actually play a little game.
Spot the Blair Witch found footage thing! And by that, I of course mean shitty handheld camera footage.
Sheriff, behind you, open up, please! Help! It was a monster. It was awful. The tree and the lightning and stuff, and it had great big...
Okay, that was a dumb game, but I do wonder though, couldn't they afford the professional camera throughout the entire movie? Did they have to cut back and use their father's vacation camera?
Meanwhile this is going on, Ernest tries for the 16th time to eat the damn camera.
Binder, open up! Sheriff Binder, open up, please!
That is why with Jim Varney you use a big professional camera, since that is too big for him to swallow. I think.
So after that scene, Ernest runs around the city like, well, the village idiot, and for some strange reason, we cut to the two comedic relief guys.
And I have only seen Ernest Goes to Camp, and those guys, well, they were pretty funny. Although, a comedic relief inside a movie with their biggest comedic relief ever is kind of questionable.
Anyway, let's see how funny these guys are.
Fella comes in here the other day and he says to me, well, Tulip Brothers give me a good deal on an outboard motor and some taxidermy supplies. And I said, does a fat puppy hate fast cars?
Points for worst jokes ever. To be fair, this isn't the only one in the movie.
They give Ernest a ton of troll catching shit, including a dumpster with kids for free written on it.
Am I the only one who thinks that this one scene was in pre-production way before Ernest goes to jail? It's just a thought.
We then have a heartwarming scene with Dan Aykroyd and this little girl. I can't remember her name, but she's the biggest support of Ernest, so she's a goner.
To further cement the goner part, impulsive sign of affection that neither of them established beforehand. Big trade in B-listed horror flicks, especially the comedy type.
Well, Kenny walks home, gets assaulted, and Elizabeth, get this, doesn't want to go out trick-or-treating in fear of trolls.
And Ernest said...
Honey, we have been through all this. There are no such things as trolls.
What a shock! Halloween is ruined by a cheap Power Rangers knockoff. And some people even call Super Sentai a cheap knockoff of Kamen Rider, also known as the Masked Rider.
Well, Elizabeth looks under the bed since the script said that one movie did this jump scare correctly and therefore this movie tries to imitate it.
Oh, Snuffies. It's just you.
Wow. Didn't see that coming, huh? Honestly, it's so damn obvious. And I don't even have a clever joke about it. Huh. Who knew that a comedy of all things could suck the funny out of you like this?
So the troll gets more wooden kids and Ernest gives Rimshot, the dog, the most adorable outfit ever. While also setting up a bear trap, even Tom would say, dude, that is not going to work.
Yeah, you leave it to Tom and Wile E. Coyote to tell you what traps does and doesn't work. By now they actually should know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Well, Kenny escapes the troll by, I don't know, the troll hijacked the milk wagon?
Or was that a scene from The Leprechaun? Hard to tell sometimes.
Well, never mind that, the literal next scene is Ernest capturing the troll, but it appears it is the mayor's son and Ernest gets fired. On a side note, did the mayor's son really believe there was 3 kids inside the thing? And why did he go in there? Huh.
You're right. I've never been a quitter. Why, I've never known when to quit. Just ask my 4th grade teacher.
He never knew when to quit.
Okay, granted, that was hilarious.
Well, the troll finally have had enough of Ernest's shtick and tries to assault him in his pickup truck, and here Ernest and the troll is having a brawl, but wait, who's driving the car?
Get away from me!
Well, of course the dog is driving. Honestly, this is probably the most plausible thing in the entire movie. It seems that the troll is getting the upper hand until Ernest has the brilliant idea of putting the car in reverse. A clever idea, sure, but how does the dog know how to do that?
It's a mystery.
Bingo! You got him, Rimshot.
Wow. Let's see that again. Okay, now the troll is done for. I mean, no one could have... Okay. okay, they captured him with a net back in the day, and now he's suddenly invulnerable to damage? Say it with me, people. Consistency is tough to do.
I'm Batman.
Whoa, what the fuck? What the hell?
Well, anyway, Ernest returns to Doc Earth and Kid Brown, and they have a conversation about how to beat this troll, while they're renting props from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I mean, a giant can opener? Seriously? Come to think of it, that's probably way too dumb for Pee-wee to actually use in his show. And that's saying something.
But wouldn't you know it, some pages in the book were stuck together. Yeah, apparently they have a book on how to stop these trolls.
You know, for someone who's probably been around since the first encounter, she sure doesn't know a lot about this troll, despite owning the book about how to defeat the troll. Weird.
Roy the troll with M-R something K.
Well, this is an easy one. Since I live pretty close to Bulgaria, they of course refers to the amazing beverage Miak, which may or may not be fictional. Good stuff, really.
Well, we then cut to a scene with a pizza lady and a teddy bear girl. Stuff like this happens.
I hate you!
Well, I'm not too fond of you either.
Mommy! I'm sorry.
Mom! I'm sorry! Gosh! Really? Are you that bad an actor that you don't know the difference between anger and regret? I know the difference, hence the word anger in my name.
Unconditional love. That's the heart of a child.
Really? That's what you got from that scene? Unconditional love? All I saw was a brat trying to get a mom off her back.
Well, we cut to Ernest running like he's in a dumpster fire. Oh wait, he is. He then confronts the troll with obviously the wrong stuff, which is of course milk.
Yeah, the idiot couldn't possibly find any Miak this time of year, so of course he brings...
Miak!
Oh hey, Ernest did something smart for once.
I bet you thought I couldn't find any this time of year. Well, I'm a little too resourceful for you, a little too light on my feet. So come on.
Well, obviously it wasn't Miak, although it is a nice, refreshing, maybe fictional beverage. It is indeed not the thing that can kill a troll, it is of course milk. And since Ernest got pushed into an ice cream machine, he's covered in milk and the troll runs away.
Well, I'm from a country that deals with trolls on a regular basis, so much so that every household has a troll away spray. And I can tell you, milk doesn't work on them. If anything, they get more pissed. I lost my uncle that way. If only he did not listen to Ernest.
Anyway, Rimshot is apparently petrified, or honestly, it looks more like a, well, troll leftover than a dog. I don't get it.
Every figurine they created looked good. Not great or anything, but you could still recognize them for what they were supposed to be.
Except the kid who got turned into Mickey Rooney.
How do I stay so crazy? Mickey Rooney's crazy pills!
Anyway, this makes Ernest so pissed that he spouts more redneck stuff and tries to run over the troll since it worked last time. And the entire city comes to attack Ernest because that would be logical.
Wait, no torches? What kind of an angry mob forgets the torches?
And of course, all the other trolls are born and looks like something Rob Zombie would draw in his Fear nightmares. Well, also there's a lot of back and forth with the trolls and the humans and Ernest who...
Worrell selects a ball and steps to the line. It looks like a tricky 7-10 split. A hush falls over the crowd.
Ernest, I don't know how to say this, but people are dying out there. Get a move on. And please stop with those painful jokes.
The famous Worrell twist. The release. Yes!
Oh, great, Ernest. You took forever to make a painful bowling joke, and then you killed the wrong guy. Amazing.
But after a little while, the kids who now have water guns and milk is ready for action. And by that, I mean using their arsenal completely wrong. It's a carton of milk, not a hand grenade, you doof. While all of this is happening, the trolls hunt Ernest and sooner or later they are victorious, well, and not before Ernest can have yet another split personality moment, of course.
Don't worry, kid. We got the high ground. We took the high ground.
Even though some of us are very tired.
Trolls, is it?
Oh, great. I have to defend the fort with a multiple personality.
Hey, let's get us all right. full respect.
But they of course forgot about the main troll. Can't for the love of the Leviathan remember his name, and who cares? I don't even think they named him. Oh well, they tried to squirt milk on him.
I've grown too strong for that. Not even milk can stop me now.
Well, what can you do? He's too strong for milk now. Gosh, that has to be the lamest villain quote of all time.
No, no.
Well, of course, Ernest the redneck hero.
The great redneck hope.
Figures out all by himself that unconditional love is the true answer.
You all know I want to blame High School Musical for this, but this movie actually came out before. Screw it, I'm still going to blame them. True unconditional love is the key to success here, which it actually wasn't. He used love to explode the little bug and save the town, completely conditional. But just imagine Care Bears now, unconditional love, and you explode. That show was a lot creepier than I remember.
Well, since the troll is destroyed, literally, the curse is broken and the captured kid sits at 3, including Eartha Kid's siblings, and Ernest is not all that happy.
There's nothing in that tree for me.
Oh yeah! What about Rimshot?
Rimshot will live.
Oh, thank goodness Rimshot is alive! It's alive! No wait, that's from Angryween.
Well, the movie's over, and what a movie. I mean, I've never really seen Ernest before, apart from Ernest Goes to Camp, and I can say there's certain charm to the movies. They're not masterpieces by any means, but at least the actor seems to have fun. Especially the chefs in Ernest Goes to Camp. They were a certain kind of fun you actually rarely see in movies. But Ernest Scared Stupid? Well, it feels rushed in my opinion. It lacks direction apart from Ernest, but then again, compared to his other work, yeah, he also lacked a bit of direction. The camera angles and the effects are all over the place. First, it feels nice and professional, then they for some reason cuts to a low-ass budget handheld camera which everyone could buy at that time. The actors, well, not terrible apart from the kids, isn't that a thing to brag about. Eartha Kitt seems to be more lost in what's good for her role. Seriously, she was a singer and Catwoman and she turned to this? That's a shame, really. Well, it's one of those movies that's so bad you might find it entertaining, but then again, there's better movies for that. The troll really isn't that impressive. As I said, it feels like a cheap Power Rangers knockoff that should just have been scrapped. Honestly, we have to go back to really early Super Sentai to find something that's just half as bad as this.
Well, that was Ernest Scared Stupid. More like Ernest Scared the audience with this low-effort movie, am I right? I'm the Angrynator, and hopefully I'll figure a way out soon.